All right. Here we are, making Pax Stereo. I guess that's the net title that we're going to be using for the interim, since we have to meet and go over things, and we thought it would be good to have the world see some of the stuff that we have to do. So this is an experiment, killing two birds with one stone. In other words, Vic and I have to meet regularly, and then we also need for people to see what we do and what goes on behind the scenes. So we felt like, because we believe in this whole concept of radical transparency, which means we do things in public, that we thought we would have our meetings in public, at least, as much of it as we could tolerate. Right now, I don't have anything that I could think of that's like off the table. I could think of. Maybe there is. There's nothing that exciting going on here, but perhaps if there were, it might be off the table. But the big issue is that I got to show Vic a bunch of things. So at this session, it's usually, theoretically, he gets to relax a little bit and mostly think things through, and I present some of the topics. We don't have to actually make a decision, but we can decide that decision to be made later on. One of the big things we're going to be going over always is scheduling, so we'll end up doing that first. And then after that, we're going to talk about, I'm going to show him the status of the web updates, and also sort of pose to him some of the questions that I'm dealing with philosophically as I attempt to move forward with the web update. So there's decisions I have to make. And so I want to show Victor some of those things and then get his opinions, or at least have it so that we can look at it and come back and talk about it at a future time.
Makes sense to me.
All right. Now, one of the first things is dealing with the scheduling. I'm going to be going to the broadcast machine and figure out how to deal with the morning coffee special evening broadcast series. Now, part of it has to do with when we rebroadcast, that specific issue, when we rebroadcast that, because previously morning coffee was going from 10 till noon, pretty much Monday through Saturday.
Got it.
So now we have that space opened up, okay? Because we may fill it in with some of these kinds of things, okay?
True.
So just to know that it's probably just better, I know, for me just to go on and put some basic things in and then bring it back to you on that.
Okay.
But if you wanted any to be in on it, I have to go to, basically I can tell you it's what we do 10 to noon and also the evening rebroadcast too. That space is now open. Okay?
Yeah, we discussed this just a little bit.
Yeah, because it also involves a couple of other shows, the Making Mika Williams series, some of these other ones, okay?
Right.
But so I'm going to be looking at that. We know in general we're moving toward more selfies and more updates. So I have a whole idea on that, okay?
Okay.
But anyway, back to the scheduling. It looks like to me we need to start at least have a tentative for when we return. So I was thinking that the spring season for 2015 could start on Monday, April 6th.
That sounds about what we discussed, and it's going to creep up real fast on us. You know that, right?
we're only, and my thing is to only think about doing the morning coffee show 1 or 2 days a week,
which
would be Monday or Tuesday,
right,
or both.
Okay,
so that's something to think about. Then the summer season could start June 22nd, Monday, June 22nd. All of this is tentative, but it has to do with some of our other plannings.
True.
So that's what I was just saying. I was proposing those to you, so to think about. We could bring that up again at the next thing. Okay?
And to the point that special projects are presented as special projects in between the reoccurring programs. So that's a whole different subject and topic, of course.
Right. This is the regularly scheduled season.
Right.
So that will, whatever that ends up being.
Okay.
So it'll be that. So at least tentatively planning for that, whatever it ends up being. Just like whether or not we do certain things in this season or for the summer season, same thing. Whatever.
Okay.
At least gets us a starting point.
Okay.
Okay. So in terms of dealing with what's coming up, mainly with what I'm doing, it's the biggest issue has to do with philosophically deciding and coordinating the sites, PaxStereo.tv, the PaxStereo.com, and the PaxStereo.net. Now I'll try to make it as simple. I'll give you the simple version.
Okay.
The simple version has to do whether or not how much you have some features that are redundant. Then you have some features you have to decide whether you want them to be in both. For example, specifically the program sections and the special features. And here, take a look. For example, here is PaxStereo.net, okay, which is to be the future PaxStereo.tv. Okay, and so it has the programs where it lists all of our programs. Well, now here's the thing: it doesn't list all. We have to decide which programs to list there, and whether to have because at the other site there's a different bar.
Now, when you say the other site, specifically which site you're talking about? The old site, or when you say
specifically the other site? At the PaxStereo.com. There was one at the PaxStereo.tv, right. But we took a lot of those out.
Gotcha.
I'll show you the exact menu bar in a second.
Okay.
See, so there we have programs, and we say features. So this is in development, and look which ones we have right there, okay? Now, let's go take a look at the PaxStereo.com, which is really, we have to go through the portal and go into the visit and join. Now, that's had a facelift, too, to make it at least more complementing of the other sites.
The membership site.
Yeah, this is the membership site. Okay, so now if you go to this one, now when you go to programs, you have a different program list because it's older. Beast in the Booty, Create Your Label, but there are things there. Like, for example, you go to Hip Hop Republican.
Right.
There's things there.
Right.
There's playlists. So,
archives.
Yeah, so in some ways these are good, okay? Same thing here when you go to special features. Here we had them alphabetically. And it's different features, but it's also things we still would consider special. Okay?
Got you.
Now, so I know for a fact that because I know I want all of this stuff at PaxStereo.tv, I'm going to attempt to consolidate this
Right.
over to there. The question remains, how much of these pages do we keep at the Pax Stereo Ning site? See, because we're going to be, do you see what I'm saying? They could be the same, or they don't have to be the same. But here we have, because you could only have 15 like in the menu.
Right.
So we have 2 alphabetically, which could be 3 or 4. But the question becomes, this is at PaxStereo.com now, or the membership site. How much do we have of, now this Richard won't be there forever. Be moved to a different spot. But with the program specifically, the special features, those are the ones we have. Now, I assume for the most part, because the blog or the episode, we're going to leave that at both. The store for right now at both. The About Us and the Contact, there's a question of whether or not these are being combined. Okay? But, so just so you know, the news, so the big issue is just which ones are those for right now. Because you could make stuff later, but at least for right now. Now, for the moment, I'm just leaving it. But let me tell you, because I just want to throw these things, you can see the other things, for example, coming at us kind of in a design mode. Okay. Because it's kind of easier now because I kind of got it thought out. Okay. The parts that we need to update every week, okay, could actually be in 3 places. Well, it's actually 2 places. It's in the news section right here, which in this one is blank. But at the Pax Stereo TV site, the news section. Now, let me explain what I'm trying to make the news section be the equivalent of. I'm trying to make the news section the equivalent of the center column here, without the broadcast, though. Okay, because we have it. So starting maybe right with, so it's going to have specifically, because I tried to make a list, all the show updates, okay, are going to go to all 3 sites, the PaxStereo.tv.net.com, via the news and the drum, which are slightly different. The main thing is that in the main section of the news, there's 6 embeds. Quiet Storm, Morning Coffee latest, DJ Miko latest, iVictor latest, Animoto, iVictor latest, and Photo Slideshow. Okay, so that's going to be in the news section. The drum will be basically the announcements. Right. So they're somewhat different. Right. Okay, even though they may have some redundancy, that keeps me sort of in the mode of what we've done. Right. But it also makes it nice and specific what things are consistent, okay? All right. I left it for us to decide about the program's special features, how we use them. Okay. Left that for later on, okay? Right. And from now, this would at least get this part synchronized. Right. Okay.
I'm following. I see what you're doing. The decision is about which program so far.
Yeah, now, the only decision so far I've asked you for is about the programs and the features at that site. Right. Mostly I'm just updating you so you can see where the thinking's going, okay? So that means that in terms of updating, so I'm sort of show you where so the updating area will be that area. That'll be like you're used to kind of here. Right. The other thing that you're used to, the updating of the episodes, is actually going to be done. The metadata, some of that you'll see in that center section, right? But it'll also be at the regular places with the videos.
Gotcha.
Because we're going to make sure the metadata is updated at Livestream, YouTube, and Hipcast. We're going to try to do improved metadata. Okay, so that's the theory of that. So at least I had to think what stuff to make consistent. And know that the biggest issue is whether or not how much of the programming, because the Pax Stereo members, the member site could be more member. We could tell them to come over to the TV site to watch things, or we don't have to.
True.
We can have a certain amount of it over there.
Okay.
And that's why I just kind of left it.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
See what I'm saying? Because that's a different decision. Because, see, at first when you start looking at them, you can make them so similar, then what's the point?
Well, the difference is you don't want to create more work. When you may recognize the difference, it may be big, but from the outside position of the fan or the follower, they may not see the differences.
Yeah, I've got the work, at least to the most part. Well, I'm going to come to the biggest work is what they call the post or the blog.
Right.
Okay. But so far, by doing this center part, it's not as big an issue for the most part.
Right. You're just talking about where else do you want.
Right. I'm just bringing up the issues because what happens is in laying out the sites, I'm already to the point where you have to make decisions as to what are you trying to do.
Right.
And that's why this was coming up.
Okay,
because there's no need to keep updating.
I agree.
Like at the PaxStereo.com specifically over here, Vic. See here, these. I'm just going to leave them as is for a minute.
Yeah, because
menu bar.
Right.
Because we come back to it.
Because there's a such thing as archive.
Right, but we're going to do that a different way. That's why I'm just leaving it for a minute.
Okay.
But so we're sort of saying, because this is the thing, so we're leaving this for the minute and saying we're going to come back to it.
Right.
Because one of the things that I thought we would do first too is develop out the Pax Stereo .tv site, then think what we want at the membership site.
Okay, right.
And then that way it makes approaching it a little easier.
Right, because membership means membership.
Right, and maybe
totally
we're going to feature member stuff more.
Right.
See, we might do a whole different. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Okay, so we're on the same pathway. But at least I brightened up the layout to make it look a little different.
Right.
A little more concurrent to the other thing. Okay. All right. So now that's the first thing. So we already said that we got more selfies and updates, and then I am planning we're going to be coming to a minute what I call the basic hour. In other words, we have to have a basic. It's not really the basic hour, but it's the hour. It's the repeating hour format that we're going to use a lot during the day between the show episodes.
Okay.
So I'll come to that in a second. Okay.
All right.
But first, let me finish up on this. So we know that the syndication, I call them the syndication points, are going to be the show updates. That means like when we have morning coffee, hot new news, sports, any of those things, all of those latest episodes in that center, along with some kind of an announcement part.
Right.
And we said the other embeds, okay?
Right.
Okay. When it comes to the episodes are supposed to actually, I didn't do it, but it's supposed to be for everything that we do a show on. So it would be the I Victors, Quiet Storm, Morning Coffee, and all the sub episodes. They would need to be done as a blog post, which the blog and post are the same thing.
Right.
And those would be going at paxstereo.net or .com, the newer ones. Because in those, that's where whether those posts are the format that gets assigned to show up. Let me show it to you. It's either to show it to you. It's whether or not it's I forget whether it's featured. If it's featured, it's in right here. See? Those are supposed to be select ones. And then the episode archives, everyone goes in this one. Right. And then what we call showcase will be the ones that get shown there.
Right.
And they may be redundant, but we have to approach it because you put them in different ways, right?
True.
Okay, so it's just that. I get them mixed up, but I'll have that figured in the future. Okay. But we know we're going to make the blog posts of all those things and assign them thusly.
Right. Got that.
Okay?
Yeah, that's
and
consistent.
That'll make everything new. In a minute, all the sites roughly will have the newer stuff because we have 2 weeks, the newer.
Right.
Okay, so that's one thing. Now, for that one basic hour, this is the basic hour that I was suggesting that we do. Okay, we have a basic default hour. This one's a little more involved. And it's a little more involved because what I was suggesting is that we do a basic hour that includes 6 10-minute intervals. Okay? And each one of those 10-minute intervals or sections, we make somewhat different. Just to make it easy to organize, I thought we could start by calling it, I wrote first of it has to be like an hour of fun, whatever. So I called it Happy Time, okay?
Right.
Happy Time Part 1, Happy Time Part 2, Happy Time Part 3, and they're basically just 10-minute intervals. Now, I would probably separate each interval with just a sign that says Happy Time Part 1, than what it was. Now, Part 1 could be like, what's up? Where we just are saying what's going on. And that would be a recurring segment. We can the next one would be hot music videos. Remember, this is a 10-minute segment. Part 3 could be Miko time. Part 4, I just put hot indie music time. Part 5, Vic shit. Part 6, Mario moment. Okay? Mm-hmm. There's still 10 minutes to do whatever we want. I thought I would plug Miko selfies. Mm-hmm. Same thing. The parts where they're actively changing are the what's up, the Miko time, the Vic shit, and the Mario moment. We could change any of the titles, by the way. But what happened is that we would make a folder. And so in the what's up folder, there would probably just be one, the latest one. But in the other ones, it could cycle through a few different ones.
Okay.
So that this basic hour would come up a bunch of times during the day. I'll be able to tell you clearly more once I look at the other stuff. Mm-hmm. But let's just say it's coming up 8 hours a day or something like that, okay? So it'll be switching up stuff. But every week we would change the what's up. Mm-hmm. So the what's up would be done. The what's up to me is just a shorter version of that weekly announcement.
Okay.
Okay? It's like a 1-minute version of the weekly announcement. So that makes it easier to do.
Okay.
You're just telling them. Because remember, it's sort of it's still, we're just working this out. Mm-hmm. It's just a way to approach an hour, and that's really changing up the hour a lot. Putting more fun stuff, short things in there, and we'll be somehow announcing that it's coming to that time. That's why I was going to make this. We'll try to think of something fiesta, whatever.
Right.
But a single frame.
Okay.
That says Happy Time, Part 1, then the title.
Okay.
And since it's 10 minutes, that could be 2 or 3 videos.
Okay.
But roughly. Now, the main thing, because once I program it into the station playlist, then it becomes something that you play with by putting the videos in the folders.
Right.
So you can change it up at any time.
Right.
And it'll come out differently. Right? Mm-hmm. Plus, some of the folders will have it do like a random where it rotates or something. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be different at those different times when it shows too.
It shuffles.
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing that we can change what the 6 components are, I just was breaking it into these because the what's up, because I needed something that was announcement but short.
Okay.
And a little crazier delivery.
Okay.
The music video was just easy because you could put 2 music videos,
True.
2 or 3. Same thing with the audio, the indie, that could be loved, the indie Creative Commons stuff. Then he got the use of the selfies. That's why I left the 3 of us in there.
Okay.
Because it could be, right now I just divided it into 10-minute segments. Remember, it could be further divided. It's a repeating hour. Mm-hmm. So it's not that much work because you're just working within that hour.
Right. No, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
So maybe we don't need 10 minutes for a selfie. But maybe, you see what I'm saying? We may after a while decide, instead of minutes, we're going to put 1 of these and 2 of these. See, there's a way to lay out the formula where I do it like that too. Mm-hmm. See, it's not based on minutes. Well, it'll still randomly pick it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You'll say play 1 of these. And you'll tell it. You just put the things as single events,
right?
And it goes and search for a new one.
Mm-hmm.
But in that, because for a lot of the radio shows, Vic, they're doing that through the whole hour because they're putting it by genres and stuff.
Right.
So it's sort of what they get you to do. That's part of my adjustment is to approach it that way, just to get that 1 hour to be more dynamic based on what you and I want out of that hour. Mm-hmm. As a watching hour, even though it's kind of and I just took Happy Time as the first one because we make it stupid, but it could always change.
Right.
But the thing was to have this hour and this would make the broadcast sort of be better, or at least different, immediately.
Well, it's just a different hour feature.
Yeah, because we're really just
It's
assorting what we're using differently.
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar to. I'm not calling it an infomercial hour as much as a content hour of dynamic programming.
It's got to come off good for us.
Yeah,
even just like one of the things I was thinking, even like in the selfie times, those, or even in the What's Up 10 minutes. See, just inside of those, we may just put a music selection from the Hot Jams group.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it can be, remember, once I start programming single events,
Mm-hmm.
then it'll have a way more dynamic. It'll go this, then it'll be a jamming cut.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, especially for those that are 10 minutes like that, it's the What's Up, the Miko time, your Vic's time, shit, tomorrow. All of those we know you may not need 10 minutes. We can put the other music selections in there.
Okay.
So it'll be at least an hour that has stuff that's current stuff that's different.
Right. It's just getting away from like a music. It's getting away from like a music video hour, where it's just videos that's in there.
It's way more assorted.
I know what you're going with.
With our dynamics of getting the selfies
without them being shown.
And the announcements, right?
Yeah.
Because then the more we come up with it, we drop them in there.
Right. No, I understand. I got you on it.
Even though with the selfies, I don't think you would want to have more. Like the What's Up is a single one, pretty much changed weekly.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing with the Miko time, what's interesting about those is that you really could just set up the folder and drop the selfies in there whenever you want.
Right.
Once we learn to work out our workflow.
Right.
With the main issue being how many you keep in there.
Right.
Because how it rotates. Because the idea to me is that it could be fairly dynamic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you do a lot of selfies, then maybe the issue is how many you want to keep. The latest 3, the latest 5, and how, because it's repeating. But if it's changing dynamically, and even with the hot music vid, same thing with that's another one where you and I was going to go over with you. At least about everything about the happy time. That's the first one of them. I was going to go over the folder usage with you.
Okay.
Miko one day,
right?
But with you, so that because some of the things we may want to change stuff regularly.
Right.
Like I can see changing the music vids and the music.
Right.
Once we have it easy enough to do, you may just want to drop. Like if you have an indie thing, you may want to drop it in there.
Right. No, I understand. I know.
I'm trying to design it so it's more that so we can make it for us. Like drop it in there,
right?
And then your indie time that you choose the thing and with no extra work.
Right.
That's what the attempt. I just made 6-10 minute arbitrarily, but once we can't put them as single command search.
Understand the hour up into the. Hour,
even though you could do, like we said, the fractions of, but at least this allows us the way to approach.
No, I understand. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing to show you. Okay. Those are the things. That was all the things that I was going to try to make the folders, and then the thing is that, and then come back to you if review the layout again.
Okay.
Because it's still whatever we call it. Still is Miko selfie, Mario selfie, Vic selfies, whatever we call it. Then music videos or music or some combination. It's still just that.
Yeah.
In between things with some kind of a header graphic or something between each section.
Right.
And an opening for the hour and closing of the hour.
Okay.
So that was the idea of that. So those are the main things that all this we can get done sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
As we move slowly forward. Meanwhile, at the websites, I'm trying to make the stuff there for the time being.
Right.
I'm gonna move all the videos that we thought were important for the most part.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure they're at the PaxStereo.tv.
Right.
We're gonna come back to the .com and decide we want to do later.
Because that's because it's membership. We got to think of that.
Right.
Way. Okay.
But then the other stuff that needs to be at all of them, I'm gonna slowly, like I'm late tonight, obviously.
Right.
But I would try to be doing the news and the drum.
Right. Yeah, why not have the drum be a feature where it's not just an email blast? You know.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get that Absolutely. I see the value in what you do with the drum, bringing it in almost like a blog post.
Well, since it's easy, that way you can leave their you leave their function, and then you could
Right.
that's the function, and that makes it easier to make it redundant,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can just do the same. Yeah, because I kind of switched them up a little bit,
Right.
but to keep it clear that the drum is really the newsletter,
Right.
so it has some of the news, but the news has other stuff
Right.
relative to it. It actually replaces the function to some degree of the landing page, to some degree.
Right.
But you still have the landing
right.
page function. Those other functions are there.
Right.
It's just that some things are in different places right now, right?
Right.
And we're going to look at that and decide to what extent. Once the first level of stuff is done, that's when we do the review.
Right. You'll see the flow.
Yeah, with
You'll see
Miko now, everybody gets to weigh in
Right.
for whatever things they like or don't like.
Right.
And then we try to address whatever we decide from the first to move. So we'll do a few of those right
Okay.
before we decide on any of the other stuff.
Okay. I got it. Good. I think it's good. Especially, I think you have to see it, like you said, until you get in there and you really see it. And see the flow and how it pops out at you. And then slimming it down. And then separating the paxstereo.com because it really looks like, thematically, it's a membership site. So when you're telling them that, how do they embrace that? What does that mean?
And how we use it.
Right.
That's for us to determine and re-examine now, right?
Right.
Let's go back and take a look again now. And it's been updated, right? So there's a different look to it.
Yeah.
So, but we have to think of, what do we use it for? Its function.
Right. Yeah.
And how do we apply that? And
Right.
what's good and what's bad? That's specifically the things to look at.
Right.
And it's more of an issue. We know at least at the .tv, the simplest part, we're going to put at least all the TV, all the video stuff there.
True.
Here it's a little different.
Yes.
And then also we have the business site, which is coming. And then eventually the old Pax Stereo we have to decide what's going to happen with this. Because it becomes less and less useful.
Yeah.
It's probably going to
You're going to end up migrating it.
it just ends up going bye-bye.
Yeah,
because,
you're going to be waving.
because we have too many of the feature
Right.
sets.
Why would you? Because
Exactly.
you're creating more work on top of something that just doesn't transfer the same value, and you're saying why?
Exactly.
You know, usually, and when you see migrations like this, you see them just abandon the old format, whether it's hidden somewhere.
It's hard to keep it. I've done more extensive additions. Like here's the Pax Stereo archives, right?
Right.
Over at the see how extensive it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's stuff that's going in there, right? And even the SoundCloud stuff, like under the free music.
Okay.
A lot of the stuff has been updated to include the things that were not there.
Right.
So now we have the SoundClouds.
Okay.
So a bunch of stuff. Even in the About Us.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the other big one. The broadcast materials. They're there. So now when you get ready to do them, let me see. Okay, you go. Broadcast material. I got to deal with this because they're too far over. But
You're talking about the layout.
Yeah, because when you do it now, you do. Shoot. Broadcast materials. Come on over there.
Oh, it brings up a sub window to the far right.
Yeah.
When actually, if it's that far to the right, usually it'll bring it up to the left. It adjusts this for the window screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta fix that. You can't have that many things.
Right.
Broadcast material.
Okay.
You move it over.
Okay.
That's what I could do. I could move it over.
Okay.
That's what I could do. For example, let's just do it real quickly. Because I like to do that. That's one thing about this. So if we were to do that real quickly, we're going to go WP. There it is. Go to Appearance, Menus, Programs, and where's the features? Here's About Us. can move it up by moving the products. I see usually when you move on good, the whole thing's moving good. So now it's above features. This is add after programs. Just for a minute, we'll just save it so you can see. Mm-hmm. And we'll go back, take a look at the site. See, now the About Us is here. See? Mm-hmm. Now then you could say, if here's like, for example, when you get ready to do new sports, it makes sports, I already put enough for you to go and put it there.
Right. Okay.
You know, you might as well. It's probably going to be easier. I set it up for the other ones too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Just to go in and put it there.
That's a good look.
Oh, I got the audio down. I'm just saying, but at least when you edit it, you know what I'm saying, based on what we're doing, I did the same thing.
Okay.
I'll move it around for like the morning coffee, quiet storm, sipping and schmoozing, all the good news, bad news, other shit.
Okay.
Just haven't moved all the stuff in. It's hot picks. You just can start building below.
Okay.
Below, because this one is way more what you see is what you get in a lot of ways too. That'll make it easier to deal with some of that stuff. Quiet storm broadcast. Some I haven't put over. Can't remember. I thought I had put something in sipping and smoothing. Oh yeah, see.
Okay.
So some things can be started over there already because even though I'll leave it up to you because I'm still going to have the other one for a
moment. You have to.
Yeah, because I still have to do, you know.
Well, I'm going to be putting my stuff in there because I just need it as a spot as I get used to.
Right, you might as
well. I'm going to have to. I have to double it up right now, set it up in the old front page format. I know I have to say that anyway. And then, of course, practice and keep practicing going over in that area until it transitions and I get used to it. But it's like a working document now. The front page part is like a working document to me.
Yeah, you can copy and paste.
Right.
What ends up happening is that I can tell you basically what I already did. The issue with the tables doesn't work well, so that's the first
sure
thing.
It doesn't.
So you can copy and paste your text, but then put the picture. So in a minute. After you've done it, like I tell you, after you've done it once or twice, you're not going to go back to the front page.
I know. Well,
that's
agree.
what was happening to me already. I'm slowly having an issue because by the time I have to figure out a way to do it without the tables and stuff,
right,
then I'm onto a whole different thing.
Right. Because you don't have to deal with a lot of size. You don't have to deal with the sizing and layout issues right off the bat.
Not the same because that's the part I'm learning myself, tell you the truth, because the template choices are there and totally affect.
Right.
In some ways, it made it harder to make it custom. Like it was only getting so big, the text. See, because it was following the template of the site. That's what we'll look at. Okay. Like, for example, when I put these pieces in, like even the text in like the news, okay, that's a good one to look at because that's one of the biggest issues I'm dealing with now is formatting the text.
Got it. Can't get around that.
But my thing is this: it's only like this because I'm new to it. It's the kind of stuff that once you do it, then that's it. You know it then, and I just feel like I just don't know it yet. That's all.
Well, you know it enough to
get it done.
To get it done, you're just trying to find the place where you have the working template.
Moving quickly
to go in there and have your working
because the way they want you to use it, right? Because in other words, I don't want to start. Usually, I say don't go customizing things. Just go learn to work it the way they want you to work it first, and then usually when you do that, then you find you didn't need to do the customization once you actually used and made the changes in the template. Then it also helped when you changed the template, right? Because then it automatically updated because it was using that format.
Okay.
So in other words, it's better not to fight it.
Oh no! Look, yeah, I already see the result. I see it just by going through the little bit that I've been able to look at. just by the appearance and seeing what's happening by just because I haven't worked through a lot and I'm still going through my Victor Allen DV and then trying to hit the hot picks and new sports at the same. Yeah, it's just you can just see the implementation of all the features are just way vastly a lot more than going to front pages, a working document that you have to size.
Well, that's why it might be easier, Vic, because what I tried to do is go put in the stuff that would be hard for you to move over.
Right.
Like the embeds of the openings and stuff.
Gotcha.
So my theory was if I put all that stuff in,
you
could build your stuff underneath it.
Right.
And then you just have to mostly work on the size of the picture versus the size of the text.
Right.
That was my thinking for all of them, to get the lead-in stuff in and then leave it so. And theoretically, that's why those pages might be done there first.
Okay.
Because it's easier to do the layout now.
Okay.
Because if it doesn't work, for example, their embed stuff is very specific.
Right.
Like even with the pictures, so you have to do it that way. So we know that it'll come out.
Okay.
You're not going to have the issues like with front page. It's going to come out because they're doing it in a way where it has to come out.
Okay. I feel you. Mm-hmm. I understand it.
And the pictures came out. Where was I again? The pictures came out okay. See, the picture stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff that's okay. The same thing for the post. No, where it makes the issue is for like the headlines. When you want to do a headline, I'm trying to figure out. You have to pick heading 1 and then pick the biggest size.
Which is a limit on size, right?
I think they have a limit on size.
They should. I would believe they would. Yeah.
Remember, part of the thing is me trying to understand why they give you these. I don't like limits. I like them to give you a way to go around it. But the same thing went for that other issue, right?
Right.
With the passwords, right?
Right.
So I'm just saying, right now we're still in the learning mode.
Okay.
But at least I think this is still the way you go about it, because then you get further, and it does. It has been, just like for me, the experience, like I said, once I learned it was an easy thing. They just did it a different way.
Okay.
For me, all the little things that will drive me crazy, even though it still is a bunch of them, but I just tell myself, don't worry about it, that I'll find it sooner or later, and then when I do, use it then. Until then, there's enough stuff to focus on right now. We're just doing the blog posts with the basic metadata we have in the picture and putting those at the right spots, so that there's no need to really worry about any implementation issue. Okay. The biggest issue I have is just getting organized about getting my work in with the blog posts and up and picking the right picture or the right size, those little things, getting that clear.
Okay.
So that the blog posts look good across the different sites.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we are.
Okay. Cool.
So everybody, you've been watching Making Pax Stereo. This is our meeting, Vic and I, where we get together, where we have to talk over things. We're trying to do it as a live reality session because we're going to try to kill more than one bird with one stone. We have to meet anyway.
Right.
These are the real meetings and things that we have to work on. And we thought we would allow you to sit in and enjoy that for what it's worth. I'm Mark Hemsley.
Done.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, man.
Feel the wind blowing through my much you make me feel.